Man, let me just say this right off the bat. What we just watched was more than a preseason game. It was a statement. It was a clash of identities, a test of leadership, and honestly, it was a reality check for one quarterback who just isn't ready for the moment. Now look, going into this matchup, Kevin Stefanski made what I'd call a bold, maybe even risky decision. He gave Dillon Gabriel the start over Shedeur Sanders in the second preseason game. A lot of us were scratching our heads when that news came out, but hey, the preseason is about experimenting, testing your depth, and seeing who rises when the lights come on. But let me tell you something, after watching how this game played out, it's clear as day why Shedeur Sanders is the guy, because Dillon Gabriel, he struggled. Struggled bad, no touchdowns, no explosive plays, no spark. And keep this in mind, he had the first team defense backing him up, protecting him, giving him a chance to shine. But instead of capitalizing, he froze. Most scared, throwing nothing but short passes, just trying not to mess up. But when you're in the NFL, just trying not to mess up is exactly how you do mess up, and that's exactly what happened. The moment the elite protection came off the field, when the game got a little faster and the pressure started to build, Gabriel fell apart. He started coughing up the ball, fumbling, throwing it right into the hands of defenders Andrew Makuba, pick six, KJ Henry, takes one back 45 yards to the house. These weren't just small mistakes, these were momentum-killing, game-changing mistakes. Now here's the part that got under my skin. After all that, after a rough outing, Gabriel still sat there in his interview and tried to throw shade at Shedeur Sanders. He made this little comment about how there's entertainers and there's competitors, and you know what that means? He was basically trying to paint Shedeur as a showman, not a real competitor. Let me tell you something. That couldn't be further from the truth. Because if there's anyone proving he's a competitor every single snap, it's Shedeur Sanders. This is a fifth-round rookie who's already making throws that turn heads across the league. Tight window lasers, deep shots downfield, threading the needle between defenders, and he's doing it with confidence and poise. That's not an entertainer? That's not just flash. That's a competitor who's wired differently, and the contrast between the two quarterbacks was night and day. Dillon Gabriel dinked and dunked, forcing his receivers to play cramped and tight. The offense never had room to breathe. But Shedeur, he opened up the entire field. He connected with guys like Floria and Larvain downfield, stretching the defense, creating explosive plays that actually moved the chains and energized the team. That's what leadership looks like. Even analysts like Emmanuel Akko couldn't ignore it. He broke down Shedeur's tape and basically said, look, this kid has that rare ability to dismantle a defense, no matter what they throw at him. We're talking impossible throws, the kind most quarterbacks wouldn't even dare to try. Shedeur makes them look routine. That accuracy, that ball placement, threading it between two defenders and still hitting his receiver in stride, that's elite. That's special. And through all of this, Shedeur never once made it about himself. No dancing, no taunting, no ego. His post-game interview was pure leadership. He talked about consistency, about leading his team, about staying level-headed through the ups and downs of a game. That's what you want in the face of your franchise. Even GM Andrew had a moment with Shedeur, and you could just see it in his eyes. The pride, the respect, the belief in this young quarterback. The exchange was playful, but it carried weight, because everyone in that building knows it. Shedeur is the guy. He's earned that respect. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel, instead of looking inward, instead of focusing on fixing his mistakes, he decided to take jabs at his teammate. That right there tells you everything you need to know. One quarterback embraces competition, embraces the challenge, embraces leadership.
The other,
he's busy throwing shade when he should be throwing touchdowns. This game made the difference crystal clear. Shedeur Sanders is a leader. He's a competitor. Dillon Gabriel, he's got a long way to go before he proves he belongs in that conversation. So here's my question for you. What do you think? Was Gabriel out of line taking shots at Shedeur? Or do you think it was just frustration talking? And more importantly, how much does character off the field shape who a quarterback is on the field? Is it Shedeur's skills that make him stand out? Or is it his humility and composure that set him apart? Drop a comment because I want to hear what you think. You see the scoreboard? Cleveland Browns 22, Philadelphia Eagles 13. On paper, sure, it's a preseason win. Nothing to write home about, but if you think that's the story, you are dead wrong. Because behind the scenes at NFL headquarters on Park Avenue, it's absolute chaos. I'm talking phone lines blowing up, emergency meetings hastily convened, executives running around trying to figure out how to fix a problem they didn't even think existed until Friday night. Why? Because the numbers don't lie. And the numbers are terrifying. You see, the NFL depends on one rookie quarterback right now. One, Sanders. And when Cleveland decided to bench him against the Eagles, everything collapsed. Spectacularly. Let me break it down for you. Last week, Browns versus Panthers, Shedeur Sanders, electrifying debut, 8.7 million viewers tuned in. Right? No Sanders V, no Sanders, 5.8 million. Do the math. Nearly 3 million people just said, nope, I'm out. That's not some random fluctuation. That's an exodus. The audience literally abandoned ship. Inside the league offices, executives were reportedly stunned into silence. Advertising partners demanding explanations. Streaming platforms scrambling, analyzing. Unprecedented mid-game drop-offs? This isn't just about star power. This is a fundamental shift in how people consume football. Sources tell me the panic inside the league is unlike anything they've seen since the replacement referee fiasco. Why? Because Sanders isn't just a talented rookie, he is the gravitational force pulling casual fans. Young viewers and international audiences straight into the NFL universe. Take him away, and the whole thing teeters. Here's where it gets explosive. Multiple sources tell me Roger Goodell personally called the Browns' ownership absolutely furious. Why? Because the league knew exactly what was coming. They had projections, marketing campaigns, social media strategies, international broadcast plans all centered around Sanders. Networks bought premium slots. Documentary crews followed him around. Millions were invested. And then Cleveland's coaching staff decided, nope, we're managing his reps. And suddenly, all of that planning? Obliterated. Friday night should have been perfect. 2 passionate fan bases. Primetime slot, great weather, stadium packed. Everything aligned for a ratings explosion. But as soon as the game began, cameras kept cutting to an empty sideline. Commentators awkwardly explaining why Sanders wasn't there. Social media blowing up with frustration. By halftime, viewership dropped 18%. Third quarter, another 15% gone. The final whistle, the Browns-Eagles game was the lowest-rated preseason matchup, involving playoff contenders in 7 years, and here's the kicker. The game itself was exciting. Browns' defense dominated, turnovers created momentum swings. Scoring was competitive. By all traditional football metrics, this should have been must-watch, but viewers didn't care. Why? Because today's NFL audience doesn't just want competent football. They demand storylines, personalities, moments you can't get anywhere else. Sanders provides all of that. Without him, it's just another meaningless preseason game nobody remembers. The demographic damage is staggering. Males 18 to 34, down 32%. International streaming, down 41%. Social engagement, practically non-existent. TikTok highlights? 0. Instagram, minimal. Twitter, exploding. They're only to criticize the coaching staff. The NFL's most valuable audience segments disappeared in real time. Executives at Amazon Prime, ESPN, Fox, NBC, everyone is freaking out. Hundreds of millions in advertising revenue evaporated because one rookie quarterback didn't take the field. And it's not just domestic. International partners are panicked. Europe, Asia, South America invested heavily in the Sanders storyline. Friday night, that trust eroded. Expansion plans jeopardized. The NFL suddenly realized their global growth depends on one young quarterback. 1. Merchandise sales? Plummeting, jerseys canceled, online traffic down 40%, the licensed products stagnant, betting volume tied to Sanders props, down 60%. DraftKings, FanDuel, they're all watching this situation nervously. One coaching decision triggered a domino effect across every part of the NFL ecosystem. Let's not kid ourselves. Kevin Stefanski's injury management explanation, failing to convince anyone? Sources confirm Sanders practiced fully, no medical restrictions. This was a coaching choice, and it just cost the league millions, exposed its terrifying dependency on a single rookie, and forced Goodell himself to intervene behind the scenes. Other owners are livid. Jerry Jones called emergency meetings. Robert Kraft voiced serious concerns. They all see what Cleveland did? Mismanaged the league's most valuable asset? And for younger fans' generation, Zether, this is even more catastrophic. They don't watch teams, they watch players. They want highlights, social moments, narratives. Sanders is all of that. You take him out and they're gone. Off to Netflix, YouTube. Whatever else grabs their attention, social media metrics tell the story. Last week, Sanders highlights 47 million impressions, global virality. Friday, silence, 0. Algorithms stop promoting NFL content, international media. Confused, frustrated, disengaged, Friday's absence stalled the leagues carefully. Cultivated global expansion, and now every other team is watching. They understand Sanders equals primetime games, higher revenue, increased franchise value. Trade discussions are already swirling. The coaching world is split. Traditionalists defend Stefanski's autonomy, while modern thinkers recognize the harsh reality. Superstar accessibility drives the league's economy. The NFL is scrambling to adjust broadcasts, graphics, commentary, all because Cleveland benched one quarterback. Internal memorandums leaked. Sanders drives 2.5 million viewers per game, boosts social engagement by 28%, international streaming by 35%. They knew exactly what would happen, and they watched it happen anyway. Some sources even say the NFL is considering unprecedented intervention, mandating minimum playing time for marquee players. Imagine that. Ownership asserting entertainment priorities over coaching discretion. Revolutionary? Here's the bottom line. Friday night proves something stark, something uncomfortable. The NFL isn't selling football anymore. They're selling entertainment, stories, cultural moments, and Sanders is the embodiment of that. Shift the Browns 122-13, the scoreboard. It doesn't care about the 3 million viewers who vanished. But the league noticed, the networks noticed, and the international partners noticed, and the truth is crystal clear. The NFL needs Sanders far more than he needs them. Friday night, everyone learned exactly who holds the power, and it terrified. The league offices from New York to Los Angeles, Cleveland's coaching staff controls the depth chart, but Sanders controls the ratings.